Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. A video showing a heated exchange between a female citizen and a Special Services Unit officer has gone viral. In the video, the female can be seen forcibly pushing the officer around whilst onlookers videotape and comment. A hush then falls over the crowd when it seems the officer reaches for his gun in an attempt to subdue the woman. The details of that story are coming up in Solange Alfred's report.
The viral video depicts an intense altercation between police and a citizen. In the video, an aggressive female citizen can be seen pushing a police official who swiftly reaches for his weapon and charges towards the woman. Onlookers attempt to separate the scuffle by placing themselves in the line of fire between the woman and the cop. Minister for National Security Herman Francis says the disturbing footage shows the disdain the public now show towards police officers. He urges members of the public to not challenge police officers openly, as he referenced another incident in the community of Ciceron involving police officers and civilians.
And I see that persons are actually challenging the police openly. The incident in Ciceron is a case in point. I mean, the police went there, saw an individual who has several warrants of arrest, and in trying to apprehend this guy, the public gave the guy shelter. That is crazy. Okay, what are you saying to the police officers? So something happens in Cicero, and you're going to call the same police officers to come and assist you. How do they think? The police officers are human beings. So I want to encourage our people, do not challenge the police officers openly.
He says rather, anyone with issues concerning the police should follow proper procedure in bringing their complaints across.
You have recourse to the police complaints unit. You have recourse to me as the minister. And anybody can tell you as the minister, I am very available to anybody who has a problem on an issue to discuss. I'm always available. Even my time in the police force, people will tell you that anything to happen with the police and you came to me, I would deal with it, no matter where the axe fell, I would deal with the matter. And that is my stance on this whole thing.
Many have complained the officer reaching for his firearm was not warranted. However, the agreed cabinet policy governing the police use of firearms states firearms are to be issued only where there is reason to suppose that a police officer may have to face a person who is armed or otherwise so dangerous that he could not safely be retained without the use of firearms for protection purposes or for the destruction of dangerous animals. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Solange Alfred.
Local social media users were abuzz on Monday over a half-second-long video which shows a male individual crossing the street carrying a high-powered rifle. The video caused widespread confusion as many persons were left to wonder whether the individual was a law enforcement officer or a brazen gun-wielding civilian. The main cause for confusion was the fact that the individual was seen with a grass-like plant in one hand. Well, the mystery has been solved, and Hot 7 News can confirm that the individual is indeed a police officer. Although his name was not given, police confirmed that the officer is a member of the drug squad and was carrying evidence from a drug raid in an inner-city community. The safety and security of the St. Lucian people directly correlates with the capacity of the nation's armed forces to properly execute its mandate. Minister for National Security Herman Francis says the men and women of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force are deserving of the necessary equipment needed to properly accomplish their job. Solange Alfred tells us more.
A passion for the police force, says Herman Francis when addressing questions in regards to what is to come for the men and women who put their lives at risk daily to ensure civilians are safe. During the 5th August government press briefing, Francis says calls for body cameras by high-ranking police officials will be answered accordingly.
And I've said so, that this government, by its action, has shown that it is very interested in the police force. Never before have the police officers been treated in the manner in which they've been treated. They just got 20 new vehicles. They were one of the first groups to settle with the GNT, because there it was they actually saw and realized that, especially with the Prime Minister, that he is interested in the police force and is going to give them as much as possible. I also want to mention his wife, that Mrs. Raquel Chasney has been out assisting the police, assisting the fire service, assisting bodily Okay, and so it shows that within the United Workers' Party, there is this passion for the police force.
Another point touched on by Francis was the issuing of non-lethal weapons to address the nation's growing issue when dealing with violent, mentally ill persons.
We need to move away from the deadly force that we sometimes use. But even if the tasers, it has been used before and death has occurred. We started with rubber bullets. Rubber bullets have been used and persons actually succumb to their injury. So it is an involving issue. The government will not be able to do everything one time. As you know, we just had negotiations with civil servants and police officers, and that would take a big toll on the finances of the government. We agree, and we have said so that there must be a team when we are dealing with mentally challenged people. Do not allow the police to go on their own. Somebody from the Ministry of Health should be able to accompany the police, a member of the family. Those sort of people can calm the individual. As long as the individual knows is a police officer that's there, he is going to react.
Francis says the government will be doing everything in its power to equip the police force with the necessary equipment and manpower needed to thrive. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Solange Alfred.
Superintendent Minister of the Methodist Church Seth Ampadu says he is no politician, but he is a mouthpiece for the Lord. Ampadu has made a name for himself in the local media and has somewhat become the go-to religious leader for members of the local media seeking a religious point of view on issues of the day. In the past, the religious leader has had to defend himself from claims that he was being meddlesome in the island's political affairs. However, he went in depth on the topic while sitting as a guest of Treasure Lionel's On the Hot Seat.
Over the years, we would have bashed the religious leaders. They don't want them to speak because anytime you speak, people are thinking that they tag you as politician. Because if you make any statement and it does not go well with other side, they tag you as politician. So because of that, some of them
have you encountered that?
Well, sometimes you make statements and people think you are supporting this party or that party.
Do you support any party?
No, I'm not St. Lucian. I don't even know the names of the political parties. I don't hold any political card. I don't vote. So how can I support any political party?
Ampadu went on to say that it is his God-given right to speak out about societal ills.
If the government on the day do something that I think as a religious leader, it is not helping the members, my congregation, I have to speak against it. Because I'm also there for my members. So if political leaders, they do something, because if you go back to the Bible in the olden days, the prophet, the pastors or the priests, they govern the nation with the politicians. So the religious leaders, they also have a role in the society. So if something is going on, a policy that is not good for the people, the religious leaders, we have to speak on behalf of the people, the poor people. So the fact that you speak does not make you a politician. You are speaking from the biblical point of view.
The religious leader said there can never be a separation of state and church since societal issues affect the people who make up the church. He said the two work hand in hand, where the church is even helping the government with the creation of jobs and nation building. This is the Hot 7 Nightly News. Stay with us, we'll be right back.